Day here in America. And I was looking for more material words of wisdom from Martin Luther King and people like that on voting rights, so that I could remind you all and play that here at all of the Brenda White shows, because this is such an important thing. And so I found this clip with President Lyndon Johnson as he signed the Voting Rights Act in 1965 on March 16th. I found this 4-minute speech that he made, and I just thought it was the most courageous thing. It was such a wonderful speech that I had to just grab that and play it here at the altar for y'all, because you know I cannot stop speaking about. I just don't have these shows just to play music. And when our nation is faced with the things that it's faced with right now, such hatred for our president, such disrespect for him, and the taking of our rights, then you know, we've always used the black churches for those things, to get the word out, to get the message, to get the souls to the polls to vote. And so here I find myself now faced with this challenge, and the same thing. I cannot sit by and not say a word and just hope that everybody will go vote and do. Your voting right is the most precious thing. They know how important it is. Otherwise, why do you think they're trying so hard to keep you from doing it? That's why you can't sit down. That's why you can't let them win on this issue. They started 2 or 3 years ago. The moment that Barack Obama was elected, they said to themselves, oh my goodness. Then so if he won by such a big margin, what we got to do now is make sure that they never vote again. And they started when they lied and got rid of Acorn. They tried to get rid of Eric Holder, the Attorney General, the United States Attorney General. They tried to get rid of him because they knew he would recognize this and fight it. That didn't work. But they have not given up. So they got their governors in the 17 states where there are Republican governors out of the 50, and they got them started with their Republican and Congress and senators in their states, and they passed these outrageous laws. What was wrong with our voting laws? Nothing. There was less than 2%. Less than 1% of voting fraud in this country. Less than 1%. But yet, now we find ourselves, I don't care if you've been voting for 50 years, can't vote anymore. Y'all must understand how important votes are. How important the right to vote. And if you sit down and you don't vote, and you don't try, then, you know, this is how Hitler took over Germany and killed 6 million Jews. First, he got himself elected as chancellor, and then they changed the laws where Jews could not own property and all that, and then they just threw them out and put them on trains. Don't you believe that it cannot happen, because it has already happened. And the whole world is in an uproar where dictators are killing people left and right. Don't you believe it? Don't you sit down. Your vote, somebody has already bled and died for you to have this precious right. Don't let it get away from you, okay? And having said that, we've got 25 minutes of inspirational music left for you. So right now, I'm going to take a moment and play for you this 4-minute clip of President Lyndon Johnson's, as he addressed the Congress on March the 15th, 1965, after he signed, or just before he signed, the Voting Rights Act for black people. Okay? This is wonderful. And I'm going to back it up with a little music from Aretha Franklin. You'll never walk alone. Y'all enjoy. Welcome to Words of Inspiration and Prayer right here at Spreaker.com.
And you never walk alone. When you walk through the storm.
Say that, Retha. Say it.
Hold your head. Hold it up high.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. President, members of the Congress, I speak tonight for the dignity of man and the destiny of democracy. I urge every member of both parties, Americans of all religions and of all colors, from every section of this country, to join me in that cause. At times, history and fate meet at a single time, in a single place, to shape a turning point in man's unending search for freedom. So it was at Lexington and Concord. So it was a century ago at Appomattox. So it was last week in Selma, Alabama. There, long-suffering men and women peacefully protested the denial of their rights as Americans. Many were brutally assaulted. One good man, a man of God, was killed. There is no cause for pride in what has happened in Selma. There is no cause for self-satisfaction in the long denial of equal rights of millions of Americans. But there is cause for hope and for faith in our democracy and what is happening here tonight. For the cries of pain and the hymns and protests of oppressed people have summoned into convocation all the majesty of this great government, the government of the greatest nation on earth. Our mission is at once the oldest and the most basic of this country: to right wrong, to do justice, to serve man. In our time, we have come to live with the moments of great crisis. Our lives have been marked with debate about great issues, issues of war and peace, issues of prosperity and depression. But rarely in any time does an issue lay bare the secret heart of America itself. Rarely are we met with a challenge, not to our growth or abundance, or our welfare or our security, but rather to the values and the purposes and the meaning of our beloved nation. The issue of equal rights for American Negroes is such an issue. And should we defeat every enemy, and should we double our wealth and conquer the stars and still be unequal to this issue, then we will have failed as a people and as a nation. For with a country as with a person, what is a man profited if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? There is no Negro problem. There is no Southern problem. There is no Northern problem. There is only an American problem.
Yes, it will. And you want